If you think of a classroom with about 20 children on average, we have around 7 children who are struggling in at least one of these developmental areas.
And I imagine it depends at what point in the pandemic these children were born. I mean, children who were born, at the very beginning of the pandemic were probably, by the time they got to, daycare or something, things were probably likely getting more back to normal versus kids who were 2 or 3 years old when the pandemic began.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're trying to figure out. How were the early years disrupted? BC, of course, has been quite strong in terms of their public health and education response, kept schools open, immunization was fabulous, the whole system kicked in. But social lives were disrupted. So everything from family stressors, income, sleep, healthy nutrition, outdoor play. And for the children who are at this very early stage of life where their brains develop very, very quickly, they're reliant on having these good activities on a regular basis. So if they're becoming less frequent or lacking at all, then we see that the effects are detrimental to their brain development, and we see it across the social, emotional, cognitive ranges. Also, the transition, we've seen that teachers and the public health system, they've been struggling more since COVID, dealing with the stressors in society, because they're now trying to support children. If you have, instead of 5 children, you now have 7 children who are showing up with vulnerabilities or with multiple vulnerabilities. We've seen an increase in lack of toilet training. So we get phone calls from Vancouver Coastal Health. We work quite closely with the communities. They're dealing with these vulnerabilities in the classroom, supporting families with services. So those systems are struggling. They need resources in terms of staff, in terms of other support structures to do the work.